I am fascinated with finding different ways dies can be used to make unique, awesome cards. And in this video, I am sharing 9 different cards created with layered, nesting shape dies from dies to die for. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Hashik, and I'm very happy to share with you that I am now a designer for dies ... to die for at shopscrapbook101.com. I am a die cut addict, as you know, and was so excited to find a new die company with thousands of reasonably priced dies, and will be happily sharing them and promoting them here on YouTube and my blog. I had great fun designing with the dies in the January release at dies ... to die for. Of course, there are links in the description box to all the products I feature, and more details on the many cards I show will be on my blog, and there's also links in the description box to that. If you do a search for dies ... to die for, be sure to put in the dots and land at shopscrapbook101.com, which is a website out of Michigan, USA, as there is another company out of the UK with a similar name. My favorite die set from the January release is this Slimline long heart die set, and in this I am sharing different ways to use nested shape dies. So before you cut a nested shape die set apart, you can cut pieces that are like what I use to make this heart. So it is you know, the orange is one piece, and I cut it with this die when it was together, and then the yellow is the next one, the pink, and then the orange. Now this is a Valentine for my husband, and his favorite colors are orange and yellow, and I added the pink just for interest. And of course it's saying I love you. This is a Slimline Z-fold card, and it opens to show another heart underneath with a happy Valentine's Day message for him. Now the hearts on the outside were cut with the dies before I cut them together, but then on the inside I did cut the dies apart, and then I could cut one larger heart there. So you can choose when you're looking at nested shape dies how you want to use it. So for this card, it's also a Slimline Z-fold card, but I used the dies on this one separately. So you can see that each layer is raised up for dimension. So this is the largest heart, and then I cut the second one, the third one, the fourth, and the fifth, of course. And then I said Happy Heart Day, which is of course another way of saying Happy Valentine's Day. And then I added, when this is closed, you can't see that heart on the inside, but then you open it up and you can write your message there. So for these cards, I also use the new Love Words Seasons die set, and that has the words chocolate and love and sweetheart and Valentine's, etc. And then there's a seasons add-on words die set that has other words that you'll use quite often, you and happy and day, etc. And then I also use these crayon hearts, which I just love. They're so fun. I use those on the inside of that card. Here's another card that I made with the new January release dies. It has a mailbox on the front and love letters, and then you open it up, and it's called a spotlight card shape. So it has that V-shaped. You open it up and you see Miss Your Face, which is of course so perfect for nowadays. There's so many faces that I am missing. I used the mailbox die set from the release, the envelopes, rectangle envelopes, and then I also used this, which is not in the new release, but it's still a really cool die set called Torn Heart, and I kept it together. So in this case, on the inside, I kept it together, but I did cut it out with all the same designer paper, which had some hearts. But then I decided to leave this one out off so that we had that heart shape, and then put the sentiment over it. So I like how that one turned out. Here's another of my favorite dies from the January release, and it's called the Explosion Background. So I kept it all together when I created this first card and cut out a silver, red, and black layers and then put them together, and then on this black card front. And then this is another cool new set called You're the Balm. So it has dynamite and bombs, I guess, and You're the Balm. So this would be a good masculine Valentine card. And then on the inside I put Happy Heart Day with the other dies that I shared there. So this is You're the Balm. And then this card I also made with that explosion background, and you can see that I did cut some of those apart and numbered them. So in this case I used the same colors, because when you cut one of these, if you use 3 different colors, you're going to get 3 different cards out of it. So I decided to make an interlocking card front. So this is the largest die here out of the black, and then it creates like a, I don't know, a door, and they interlock and hold together. And then when you open it, you see You Did It. So this is like a congratulations card, and I used the sentiment die You Did It to make this card. And I also took some of those pieces that were left over from creating this and put them in the corners. So like I said, I had great fun playing with all these layered dies and creating a whole bunch of cards with them. So this, I think I moved it, is the last of the new January 20 die sets, and this is called You're the Balm. So lip balm, of course, You're the Balm instead of You're the Balm. So this would be a feminine card, and I use the words, all of these words are layered, which is in my mind really cool. I just love that. And then we have some lip balm, and then I use this shape. It's called Basic Long Trapezoid. Really fun shapes on their website, and I did cut out 2 of them before I took the die set apart. It's much easier to leave them together and get perfect spacing, but with some tape you can put it back together and still cut out the shapes if you want this look here. And I actually did 2 of them in a pattern paper and purple and put them together to create that card front. But then after it was cut out, I created this mini Slimline card. So you're starting to see some mini Slimline cards. I think this was 3 by 6 maybe. I think that's what it was. And I had cut these apart. So now you can see that, I think you can, each layer is raised up. So it goes you know, you cut one of each and you raise them up for some more dimension. So this is a mini Slimline card, and I did it in the colors, the Pantone colors of the year, which are yellow and gray, and some fun designer paper. I really had fun making a lot of cards, as you can tell, and this is my favorite of the cards I created. So I'm going to make a version of this Slimline card in this video. I cut the basic rectangles out of the 3 different colors. I have red and black mirror card, and then I have a silver sparkly card. And I'm going to show you how I used these dies and kept them together. Now, I will admit some of these ideas, especially on this card, were inspired by a Jennifer McGuire video that I watched. So she cut hers apart diagonally and made a cool card, and I decided to try that. I did mine on a Slimline version. And this is the same heart, that Slimline heart die set that I showed before. And then on the inside I have Always and Forever. So in my description box I have links to the different categories. They have lots of really cool sentiment dies, and of course the basic shapes. And then this is an alphabet die set that I bought, that's Hannah's Alphabet Varsity with shadows. So each of these letters can come apart and have a shadow, so you can use it with and without the shadow. And I'm going to show you how I took 3 of those letters and die cut them out of extra pieces of this background that I created for this really cool look. And of course this love is from the word set that I showed you before. So another love you card, always and forever. This would be a good anniversary card for my husband. I am going to show you how I created that. We're going to start with 3 different kinds of cardstock or paper. You could use pattern paper. You could use, you know, on that first heart that I showed you, I used yellow, orange, and pink. But I have again chosen 2 mirror cards and a sparkly silver. I have taken a piece of thin weight white cardstock. You could use just typewriter weight if you wanted to, and you're going to adhere them in to that cardstock, and then I cut it out by hand so that it was right up to the edge. I suggest using a good dots roller. If you use a dots roller, you know that the adhesive basically just goes right where it's supposed to go, and you don't get a lot of extra on the sides. And we want to adhere that down. And when you do cut out 3 different kinds of paper, you end up with enough to make 3 different cards. So in this one I'm starting with the black and then the red and the silver, but of course on this one I started with the red, the silver, and the black. So it just depends on what's left over, and you create a pattern. And then I'm putting it down with a dots roller. In this case it's from Gina K, which is my favorite of this style of adhesive rollers. And then you're going to take a ruler. Now I know I could just put this in my Fiskars cutter, which I'm going to show you in a minute, and cut diagonally one way. But once you do that, then cutting it the other way is more difficult because you don't have the other edge, if that makes sense. So on the back I am going to draw a line from one corner to the other. Whoops. Did you see that bump from my finger? I think I can still cut that right. And then from this corner to this corner. Now I could just cut this out, and I think for that card that would be enough. But if you want to, if you think you might want to cut these in half again for more triangle shapes, I would suggest that you take like a T ruler like this one and still draw those other lines. So it's hard to figure out once this is cut apart where's the halfway mark. So it's just easier to do it before it's cut apart. So I am going to draw a line from there to there, and then on this side, again using the T roller gives you right the center to make sure that they stay, it's exactly even on all sides. And then I'm going to take my Fiskars cutter, and I think the only cuts that I'm going to make for this card, if I remember right, are the 2 diagonals, but we'll check it out when we get there. So just line your tips up there and cut, and then you have the 2 sides. Now this is a rectangle shape, it's not square, so it's not exactly even. So again, we're going to cut from the center to the tip, And you can see that you end up with two in different sizes, but that's okay. They still make a really cool card. But if you did want them all to be even, of course, then start with a square. And so there's our pieces that we're going to create with. So I have a Slimline card that is already cut, and I am going to attach these with my tape roller again. The dots ones get right to the corners, and so put those along there. And then I'm going to take the other longer one and put that there. Okay, and then I'm going to take these pieces and attach them. How did I do that? Think about that a minute here. Is it like that? Yeah, I think that's what I did. Yeah, right to the edge. Okay. Of course, you could play around it and decide whatever you want to do, but I think I decided that I wanted to continue up, and then of course that will be trimmed off. So this one's going to be right along the side and right up to that other triangle. And I think I did it a little differently last time, but you know what? I like this too. That's more like a Zorro look, right? And if you keep these pieces, you could probably use them for some decoration on the inside or something. Now this one, I decided was going to be another encouragement card. So I have already taken one of these, the third one of the layered, and I cut out yay, Y-E-A, and I cut out a sparkler. This is a die set that's called Sparkler, and I just thought that was really cool for a celebration. So I put "You Did It" in the inside again, and then that's the sparkler. And look what I was left with after I cut that out. So this is going to make another card, because we have a negative of that sparkler, and then we have the negative of YEA. And I think that looks really cool. I think I could put that over white and make another card, but I didn't have time today. So I also have cut a sparkler out of vellum. I like the look. You know, if you use the vellum, you don't cover up any of that gorgeous color. So we're going to use a vellum sparkler on there. And I am going to add these pieces. The vellum I like to add with a glue dot and then just cover it up so you can't see it with a pretty gem. So we will put a glue dot on there and put this up here. Now I cut it out of a sparkle, it's got a few dots in it, a vellum that had a little bit of color, and I sponged on a little bit of red just to add a little bit. And then these are my favorite gems. They're actually enameled dots, are from Gina Marie Designs. And if you watch my videos, I use them all the time, and I was very excited to find out that Dies to Die For at scrapbook.com carries these. So I have a link. There's all sorts of colors. What I really like is that there's 3 different sizes, so you can decide you want a big, a medium, or a small, or a combination of the 3. And again, I use these all the time, so I was happy to see that they are available at shopscrapbook101.com. And I'm going to cover that glue dot up with a gem and also add some color. And then we're going to put Y, E, A, yay, down. And of course this was cut out of that same striped pattern that was created when we cut those basic shapes. Yay! Our very cool pattern, kind of like a Zorro Z there, saying yay, you did it, with a sparkler, a celebration card, a slimline card is complete. I had great fun creating all these cards with my new dies from Dies to Die For, and I hope that all my card samples encourage you to give some of these ideas and products a try. Thanks for watching, sharing, and subscribing, and thanks too for helping me share the joy of creativity.